Have you been collecting points and rewards, patiently waiting for that day that you make that big splurge on that trip you've been dreaming about ever since you started in the credit card game? With so many variables to consider when redeeming your points, it can be flat out overwhelming because the last thing any of us want is to redeem our points on X when we could have redeemed it on Y. Now, cashing in those points is all about getting the best value, and with the endless array of nuances to consider in this space, it's no wonder that locking down the best deal comes with its own set of challenges. Welcome to Prince of Travel, we're the leading platform empowering every global citizen to go further better. Our team keeps our eyes and ears peeled on the best ways to redeem our points, and we're here to guide you through the process of making that very first points redemption and many more to come. And you know guys, as the founder, I've been doing these videos for a long time, and with this topic of making that first points redemption in mind, I couldn't think of a more suitable opportunity to throw this one over to Mark, one of our miles and points enthusiasts here at Prince of Travel, to share some of his thoughts with you on scoring that very first big win. Now, Mark's got a nice and soothing voice, a lovely camera presence, and some luscious locks. So with that in mind, please go ahead and make Mark feel comfortable in the comments. And Mark, I'll pass it off to you.
Thanks, Ricky. Let's dive right into picking the right destination and why that's so important to consider. Now, different airports have different routes, meaning not all airports can take you to where you want to go. For instance, Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport can't take you overseas, making your only other option Toronto Pearson if you're based out of the GTA. The key here is to fly out of major cities because that's typically where airlines set up long-haul routes from. Now, say you want to go to Asia. Booking EVA Air's business class through the San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Vancouver, or Chicago hubs would bring tremendous value for that first redemption. These hubs fall under the 5,000 to 7,500 mile range to Taiwan, which comes at a bargain cost of 75,000 Aeroplan points one way aboard EVA Air's luxurious Boeing 777. Now, what about Europe? Say you're planning a Euro trip and you're on the lookout for the best deal to help you get over the Atlantic. This is where Air France KLM Flying Blue miles will likely be your best bet considering cost and value. This is our top choice for bringing you the best deals from North America to Europe. Air France and KLM bring harmonized Europe to North America pricing, which means you can expect the same price on flights from Vancouver to Paris as you would from Montreal to Paris and everything in between. You can expect a premium economy flat rate of 35,000 miles one way, no matter your origin or destination. The reason the Flying Blue program is so valuable is its relationship with American Express Membership Rewards as a points transfer partner. In Canada, passengers can transfer MR points at a ratio of 1 MR point to 0.75 Flying Blue miles. And in the US, passengers can transfer US Amex MR points, Citi Thank You Rewards, Chase Ultimate Rewards, and Capital One miles at a 1-to-1 ratio with Flying Blue. Where you go will partially determine what airlines are available to you. So by sticking to major international airports, you can maximize your opportunities at locking down the best deals from across the board. If you find this content helpful, give us that thumbs up, drop a comment with your thoughts and any questions you might have. It really helps us a lot. Now, what can your points actually get you? By now, you can probably see how important points are in relation to getting you to and from the destination that you're traveling to. But depending on the points program you're subscribed to, you can use those same points to help you with offsetting travel costs once you're on the ground. But first, let's have a look over points for booking travel. Now, different points grant you access to different airlines. And if your main interest is getting the best value for air travel, then this method will end up being the most effective for you in the long run. Now, let's talk about transferable points currencies like American Express Membership Rewards and RBC Avion as some of the easiest to earn on everyday credit card spending. Some membership rewards and Avion airline transfer partners include one-to-one exchange with British Airways Executive Club for both membership rewards and Avion. Membership rewards have a separate partnership with Airplan at a 1-to-1 ratio, and RBC Avion have their own separate airline transfer partner at a 1-to-1 in Cathay Pacific. Now, to make this make sense, with transferable points, you first earn points by spending on a credit card that earns membership rewards or RBC Avion. Those points then become available to you in your Amex MR or RBC Avion rewards accounts, and once you've earned those points, you can convert them into points with an airline or hotel loyalty program at various ratios. And from there, you'll be able to decide where your points are best spent in helping you lock down the best deal out there. Now, moving on from booking travel, you might ask, how can you leverage points during travel? Let's talk about fixed value points here. These are points that you can redeem at a fixed rate, and these points are generally worth 1 cent per point with some exceptions. For Canadians, the big fixed value points players worth checking out include Scene Plus, TD Rewards, CIBC Aventura, BMO Rewards, and Air Miles. The example we're about to get into should help you in answering any questions on how fixed value point redemptions can help you get the step ahead in juggling travel expenses. So you can redeem Scene Plus points against travel expenses at a fixed rate of 1 cent per point up to 1 year after making the transaction. Points can be earned on a variety of Scotiabank issued credit cards at rates of 1 to 6 Scene Plus points per dollar spent depending on the card. On the other hand, you can redeem CIBC Aventura points against travel expenses at a rate of $1.25 per point. Now, another question you might have is, how can you find the best redemption? Knowing the different points and rewards programs is one thing, but knowing the dollar value of those points is another factor that can help you in deciding the best use of each program. Now, value in points is highly subjective, and it's important to keep in mind that the value of a point in each program is constantly changing. These point valuations should be treated as a general guideline rather than a definite representation of how much you will get out of each point that you earn. On our website, you can check out our points valuations guide that breaks down each point program's cent per point value, or CBP, and more on how you can stretch the redemption value of those points. Now, our points valuations guide is updated on a quarterly basis, so be sure to check back often to stay up to date. Let's go over a few examples of what CBP looks like with some popular points programs that we stay up to date with at Prince of Travel. While this is subjective, this is how we value points. And some point valuations include Aeroplan at 2.1 cents per point, Air Miles at 10.5 cents per mile, Amex MR points at 2.2 cents per point, CIBC Aventura at $1.25 per point, and TD Rewards at 50 cents per point. These are just a few examples to help you understand what your points are generally valued at. We talk a lot about value, and when talking about value, it's important to time your booking so that you can get the most value out of your points. Booking a couple of days out from your flight could see you finding good award pricing, but as a general practice, we suggest booking air travel as early as possible. Booking with many airlines opens about a year in advance, with most in-demand routes getting snatched up as soon as they're released. Now, if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in the miles and points space, be sure to sign up to our monthly newsletter where you'll get all the insider info. Now, we felt like this video can use some honorable mentions, so we've put together a list of credit cards if you're after premium airport lounge access, hotel loyalty programs, or are after a card with substantial travel insurance. Now, starting off with lounge access, certain cards grant you access to luxurious lounges. Some cards are limited in this space, so be sure to read the fine print in the terms and conditions of the card you end up choosing. Here are a few of our picks, starting with the Amex Aeroplan Reserve that has unlimited Maple Leaf lounge access, and then there's the CIBC Aventura Gold and the CIBC Aventura Visa Infinite that have 4 lounge passes each. Now, shifting our attention to hotel status, the Marriott Bonvoy American Express earns Marriott Bonvoy points per dollar spent. Worth mentioning is that Amex MR points can be transferred to Marriott Bonvoy at a rate of 5 MR points to 6 Marriott Bonvoy points. Now, finally, we want to talk about insurance. And there are certain cards out there that can help alleviate the stress of those moments and give you the peace of mind that you're after. The National Bank World Elite MasterCard has industry-leading purchase protection, nearly double of what competitors offer, travel insurance, mobile device insurance, rental car insurance, and more. With the amount of credit card points programs, cashback benefits, and other perks, it's important to always consider whether or not you're getting the most value for your points and rewards. We hope that this breakdown on how to use credit card points for travel will prove to be helpful to you, and if you want to hack on how to fast track your way up the points and rewards ladder, be sure to check out our video on the only credit card you need to book first class flights.